When you hear the name Mandalay Royal Palace, Yadanaban Palace, what comes to your mind? A grand palace shining in gold? Or countless pagodas? But in reality, about 160 years ago, Mandalay didn't look like it does today. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine. Among the golden pagodas, try to see tall smokestacks rising into the sky, surrounded by busy factories. And the sounds coming from there, they weren't just chants of prayers. They were the pounding of hammers forging modern weapons, the roaring of machines in full operation. This was the dream of a great visionary, a man who wanted Myanmar to become an industrial power in Asia, even ahead of Japan. That man was the respected Crown Prince Kanaung. His dream was simple, yet powerful. Send Myanmar youth abroad to study, produce our own weapons, stand equally against the British colonizers. At that time, Myanmar's future once shone brightly like sunlight. But fate can be cruel. On August 2nd, 1866, on a Monday afternoon, that golden future suddenly fell into darkness. Inside the Hluttaw, Parliament Hall, with a single strike of a sword, it wasn't just the prince's head that fell. Myanmar's bright future fell with it. Who created this bloody story? Was it foreigners? No, it was someone the Crown Prince loved like his own son, his own nephew, Prince Mainggun. Let's turn back the pages of history. We are about to uncover a royal scandal filled with pride, ambition, and regret. First, let's introduce the villain. His name was Prince Mainggun, real name Maung Myoai. His name sounded calm, but his personality was like fire. Although he was a son of King Mindon, his mother wasn't powerful, so he lacked influence compared to others. From a young age, he carried an inferiority complex. If Uncle Kanaung becomes king, we will lose everything. That insecurity turned into pride and arrogance. There are many stories showing how reckless he was. One time, the king asked his sons what dishes they could cook. Other princes answered politely, but when it was Mainggun's turn, he said, "I can cook beef, your majesty." The entire court fell silent, because King Mindon had forbidden the killing of cattle. This wasn't just about food. It was a direct challenge to the king himself. Another time, during a royal cooking event, he tricked the king. He served what looked like a snack, but it couldn't be eaten. Not cut, not bitten. It turned out to be elephant tendon disguised as food. Even the king was mocked. Mainggun wasn't alone. He involved his younger brother too. Together, they became a disaster for the country. One day, they even killed and ate the royal white elephant. This was an unforgivable insult. The king was furious. But instead of punishing them directly, he asked Crown Prince Kanaung to discipline them. Kanaung, out of kindness, only imprisoned them briefly. But instead of gratitude, Mainggun grew hatred. Now comes the darker part. Mainggun's wife was actually Kanaung's daughter, his own cousin. When she discovered his rebellion plans, she chose to warn her father. When Mainggun found out, he showed no mercy. He killed his pregnant wife brutally. A man capable of that would not hesitate to kill anyone. Then came the darkest day. A fire signal was set. The brothers staged a fake fight and rushed into the council hall. Kanaung tried to stop them, but suddenly, their men attacked. Kanaung was struck down, and the nephew he once cared for beheaded him. At that moment, it wasn't just a man who died. Myanmar's industrial dream died with him. The king, however, survived. The assassination attempt failed. Realizing this, Mainggun fled, stealing treasures, weapons, and a royal ship. They escaped down the river, even burning furniture to keep the ship moving. They laughed and mocked from the riverbanks as they fled. But what was left in Mandalay? Silence. Ashes. Factories stopped. Machines went quiet. Students trained abroad had no leader. It wasn't just one man's death. It was the collapse of an entire nation's progress. Eventually, Mainggun was captured by the British and exiled to India. But even then, he escaped cleverly in disguise. He lived the rest of his life abroad. When a monk once asked him to return to Myanmar, he replied, "I will not return unless I sit on the throne." Even until death, he couldn't let go of his ambition. In 1921, Prince Mainggun died far from home. So now, a question for you. Did Prince Mainggun lack ability? No, he had plenty. But what did his reckless actions cause? After Kanaung's death, King Mindon became traumatized and never appointed another crown prince. This led to instability and eventually to the fall of the kingdom. If Mainggun had used his intelligence wisely, Working with Kanaung, would Myanmar have fallen to the British in 1885?